DraftKings, baby.
Oh, shit. Should we look at some lines?
We've talked about gambling here, and you've made your point about, I think you was calling me a sucker for taking the favorites, but was that what you're calling it? You're saying
I took a massive favorite. I bet the favorite in the
I'm
series. It's tough.
But something that I think when you talk about it from a gambling perspective, and this is now I'm not talking as an ex-player, because as an ex-player, if you were on my team, I would not want this information out there. But when the NHL tells me that Cale Makar has a lower body injury, I want to know as a gambler, what is it? Does he have a fucking bruise on his knee, or is his right groin hanging on by a thread? Because it's going to dictate to me what my bet is. Now, how healthy is Cale Makar? Like, what is it? Is it groin? Is it a hip? Like, to me, lower body, upper body, it just doesn't do it anymore, especially when it comes to gambling. In the NFL, they say, Odell Beckham, he's got a bad fucking hammy. He can't run. I think it's something they got to think about in the NHL when it comes to gambling.
Now, there's a way to look at this, and I think from a perspective of, do we want hockey to be a gambling sport?
It already is.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. That's the biggest.
Why?
We? Yes, we do.
Of course we do. So that would be just the question I think needs to, you're Bettman, you're Bill Daly, you're like some team managers, you're all kind of sitting in the round table. Now it's like, okay, guys, gambling is becoming bigger and bigger. Our sponsors are DraftKings, our sponsors are whatever, right? We need to now implement better information through the pipeline of the NHL that allows people to have more strategy to gambling, because this is an issue. But
I just want to know how banged up he is.
The NFL gambling is so massive that's why there is more money laid on that than hockey. Maybe the big guys in hockey that like to really fire cash are like, fuck, you can't, hockey is too hard to bet on because of these reasons, right?
Yeah.
So is it something that the NHL needs to look at? Because we need to accommodate more to the sports bettor. That gets more eyes on the TV. That gets more viewership, gets more sponsors. Yeah, you're right. What I'm saying is this needs to be a round table, because, gambling is now officially fucking coming out in all states, and it's a real thing. And we need information like this.
Yeah. And I think, the days of, even from when we played and before us, right? Of, okay, if I knew you had a fucking something wrong with your elbow, then I would come in and whack your elbow. I would have, when I played, I would have done that 100%.
Yeah.
I don't think the kids that play now are necessarily going to go after Connor McDavid's right knee. If you come out and say Connor McDavid's dealing with a right knee contusion or a right knee strain, because that's what they say in the NFL. And come playoff time in the NHL, I think when it comes to gambling purposes, that would be good information for people to see how banged up they really are.
Of course.
Like Victor Hedman was playing with a fucking popped out hip. Now we all thought he was playing with something that was back or hip.
But what is it?
But what is it?
Yeah, because as players, we know like, oh, is it a broken pinky?
Yeah.
Because, okay, I can handle fucking, Kucherov with a broken pinky. But if Kucherov has a fucking torn labrum, I might be like, that's the difference in the game.
Exactly.
So fuck it.
Or if he's got like a broken thumb, right? You play with a broken,
maybe he can't
dangle, or his wrist is like, like there's stuff that could, I think for bettors out there,
Someone told me my opponent off of a face-off had a broken thumb. I'm giving him a love tap.
I'm giving him more than a love tap. I'm two-handed him.
But that's the same in like football. If a guy's like, if a guy's got a bad right ankle, you're fucking tackling his right ankle. If you have a chance to go at both of his feet, you're going to try to go with the right one. Right? Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Am I just
I think football is a lot harder to target a specific body part than hockey.
Oh yeah, because we got a weapon. We got a stick.
Yeah.
You get just a little poke.
And there's a lot more just like moving side by side with somebody in hockey than in football, where it's...
Look, Max played football. He was a starting lineman.
I would have liked to fucking take a run at Max on the football field. I'll tell you that. What
Safety.
Position were you, Max?
Hey,
I was a DB. I played defense.
He goes up and just goes to grab one. You just hear the safety and just
fucking take the right knee out.
Pierce him right in the chest.
I was the safety taking the knees out.
Oh. So I would have tried to run right through you then. I would have just came at you.
Barreled, just tuck that ball, put the helmet down, spearhead him.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's something that upper body, lower body, it's a big secret. I don't tell the boys what's going on.
Yeah.
Do you think like, and Max very well could be right, that it's easier in hockey to go after a guy and slash him in the, there's no slashing anymore because they're going to call penalty. But do you think these kids are built the same way as we were and our previous guys before us, Chris Pronger, whoever, Dougie Gilmore? I don't think so. I don't think they're going to use that as to try to get them out of the series. I think they've become that soft. I think it's that fucking soft out there.
I mean, you'd think they'd still have hockey IQ of like, hey, I'm gonna
Like
get an
Corey
advantage.
Perry's going to do it.
Yeah, you want an advantage on the guy next to you because, when that last fucking buzzer hits, if you're not, winning 4 games, they're moving on, and that's I would take it every advantage.
I know you would.
Every advantage
and
you
that's
have
why
as an athlete, you would need to take it.
And that's why I would take you on my team any day of the week.
Yeah.
Got it for many other reasons, but I don't think there's many Scotty Upshaws buzzing around out there anymore.
Yeah.
In fact, I know there's not.
That hit. Can we go back to that hit? That was fucking crazy.
You know what? I chirped you because
I did eat the weed gummy, but that was as strong of a hit.
I went back and looked at the Scott Stevens on Paul Kariya hit.
It's the same.
Trouba's was harder.
I know it was.
It was harder.
The neck whiplash, and
got him like
his head was
like
just
like if this was his shoulder.
How does he feel this morning? How does Meyer feel this morning? I mean, but that's what hurts. Winning hurts. Hockey hurts.
In one. Let's say that his beak's in one.
Like when you look at the UFC, like the UFC is fucking a tough sport. And you might win the fucking fight, but in the second round when you got fucking KO'd and fell back, and guys were like, "Wow, that hurts. This sport hurts. Hockey fucking hurts." Okay, that's just
Big time.
The way it is. And clean hits are clean hits, and they'll never fucking be taken out of the game.
Yeah.
If you come through the middle of the ice like that, and fucking Trouba is on the ice, heads up, because that could, if that happens in game 3 or 4. I'm with you.
It's different.
The New York Rangers win the series.
He waited too long to do it. And for you fucking media guys out there, and you know who I am, I'm not going to mention names, although I could uppy. Quit tweeting every time there's a big hit. Oh, should this be in the game? What do you think? Head trauma, this and that. Like, as hockey players, we realize the risk we take. We're playing for the Stanley Cup. His head was down. Meyer in the handshake gave him a handshake and said to him, great hit.
Yeah.
You got me.
Yeah.
And no, we don't want to see anyone get hurt.
Of course.
But I'm sick of these guys tweeting out, we got to get this out of our game. It's a clean body check, and they're playing in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yeah.
You never played.
Yeah.
You don't know. So quit tweeting about it.
I know.
And drawing attention to it, because every ex-player would agree, or 90%
I don't even
of
know
us.
if the visor was a good thing.
No,
he
the
might
visor
have
probably
been
cut
better
more.
to not have a visor on.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'd rather
Well,
just
his
take
nose
that
went-
right.
If this is Trouba's shoulder, his nose went like that.
Oh, man. It just squished.
I would say for you and Devils, what are you guys, Nation, or what are you guys called? What do you, Devils?
I don't know what we are.
What
but
do you
this
guys
is
call-
my tarp here, and I'm sticking to it.
I would
This
say
Husey, baby.
that might have been a little wake-up call for Timo Meyer, that he may, hopefully his head's okay, and he bounces back and he can
he's
play.
fine.
And if he can, I would expect Timo Meyer to be better against the Carolina Hurricanes, because that hit will wake you up.
That'll
and be like,
wake you up.
holy
Yeah,
shit.
usually you want to get hit like that early.
You do want to get hit early, but not like that. But you do want to get hit. You want to get hit early. You want to get hit,
Totally,
take a hit,
because
in the
you're
game.
into it. Hey, you fucking idiots. You're sleeping out here. Someone get hit. Right?
I mean, someone on that Rangers bench, and I like Trouba, but he waited too long. Like, somebody in a TV timeout.
I thought Tyler Mott played a good first period.
Tyler Mott was their best player.
Yeah.
And hence is why, and no disrespect to Tyler Mott, I love him. Barclay Goudreau, I love him.
Yeah.
Jimmy Vesey, a great player. They were their best player. That's why they're getting ready to fucking go to Due West right now and not play in the second round.
That kid that signed the extension, the young kid line, the big lefty. Hedl. He wasn't anywhere to be found. Lafreniere, nowhere to be found. It's a tough
No,
squad.
it's-
I think
it's-
about Turk and the coaching staff there. I think they're probably going to shake things up. What do you think?
It's crazy. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. And it's just like last year they go all the way to the conference finals and don't expect them to. And now there's all this pressure. And
Well, they made those moves, right? Like they get Kane, you get Tarasenko. It's, you're kind of going all in.
if I had any advice for Chris Drury, I would say maybe bring in a few more North American guys here. A little more sandpaper. Like, don't get me wrong, Russian players are super skilled, and I enjoyed every Russian guy I played with. Even Ilya Bryzgalov, who was the craziest goalie ever. But I like Russian guys, and they're super skilled, and you do need them to win. But I think, they got a lot of them there and a lot of European guys. I think it might be something they want to think about, is maybe bringing in.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's guys out there, but that's something to me watching. They looked a little soft, and slow.
I agree.
So
I agree.